Now this is your fourth stimulus check update in Daily News Report. Democrats in House of Representatives and Senate want to pass a bigger bipartisan bill, but Republicans are accusing Speaker Pelosi of preventing the infrastructure package from passing. And with bipartisan infrastructure talks trapped in limbo, progressives are hustling to project or even grow their massive social spending proposal. And folks, this can mean a fourth stimulus check and an increase to your Social Security benefits.
It may not be like paid for the way CBO scores, but a reasonable person will look at it and say, yeah, that's right. For example, lots of states have decided to end the federal unemployment additional payment early.
Well, first everybody, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. On this channel, I always do my best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, so be sure to subscribe. Now, with bipartisan infrastructure talks trapped in limbo, progressives are already hustling to project and protect or even grow the massive social spending proposal. Chuck Schumer has yet to indicate when exactly he'll move forward on the $3.5 trillion price tag that fellow Democrats have backed for a party-line plan to tackle prioritized liberal priorities, from healthcare to climate change. But as bipartisan talks on a separate, smaller infrastructure bill remain in flux, liberal Democrats in both chambers are already signaling that the bill's top line will need to increase if a cross-aisle deal falls apart. Not every Democrat agrees though. Some centrists are flatly rejecting the idea of adding even a single more dollar to the party's already hefty plan.
They came out with a plan last year which does exactly what the American people do not want to do. American people want to expand Social Security and the business round.
Tim Kaine, the member of the Budget Committee, said during an interview on Wednesday that he remains optimistic about the bipartisan talks and added that if for some reason a bipartisan version doesn't work out, then we ought to be looking at a reconciliation bill that's at $4.1 trillion. Any talk of such a backup plan, however, is in an early stage as Democrats await another week of bipartisan talks in the Senate. But the fight over whether to increase the party line's bill price tag is one of several potential problems that will behevel Democrats if those bipartisan Senate negotiations fail, underscoring the tenuous peace that both Schumer and Pelosi will need to hold on to the party's high-stakes floor action. Democratic Representative Mark Pocan, former chairman of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, said, "Right now we're trying to see a silver lining, moving towards how we can get this done and not assume that we have members that are going to cause problems. Everybody, who is to blame for holding back our stimulus check? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you do support a fourth stimulus check of $1,000 a month, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes."
Passed a significant standalone investment. We're hoping to change that this year. Nearly a month ago, a bipartisan group of senators came together, along with the White House, and agreed on a framework for a bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Earlier this week, House Speaker Pelosi reaffirmed her stance that the lower chamber won't vote on the Senate's proposed $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package until Democrats in the upper chamber also pass a $3.5 trillion budget proposal via reconciliation. In response, Republican lawmakers Bill Cassidy and Jason Smith accused Pelosi of holding the bipartisan plan hostage. Cassidy argues that because she's not confident she has the votes to pass a larger bill.
Again, admit there's no evidence these tax cuts are being put to work in the economy. No new growth, just more debt. And that puts middle-class programs that they rely on and they've worked for at real risk.
And according to a new poll, more than 8% of Americans favor increasing infrastructure, funding for roads, bridges, and ports. The poll found that 83% of Americans, including 79% of Republicans and 87% of Democrats, are in support of funding for roads, bridges, and ports. However, that's about as far as the parties agree on the matter. President Biden enjoys a majority approval from Americans on handling infrastructure, with 55% saying they approve of the job that he's doing. However, there are strong partisan divides. While 83% of Democrats give Biden good marks for infrastructure, 78 Republicans disapprove. 78 Republicans disapprove. The poll found that Republicans and Democrats differ widely on other areas of infrastructure. And if you guys are in support of a fourth stimulus check, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes.
Thanks, Lindsay. Well, what we're talking about here is the largest expansion of government, the largest expansion in spending, and the largest tax increase literally in the history of the country. And it's not going to be temporary. We all know how this works. Ronald Reagan once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the closest thing to immortality on this planet is a government program. Once this spending is locked in, it's going to be there permanently. And that is the vision that the Democrats have. It is a reckless, radical agenda, and the American people are going to end up paying for it. They're going to pay for it in the form of higher taxes. It's got some.
Thank you, Mr. Leader, for honoring us with your presence on time and for returning to the House side. I'm pleased to welcome you and Senator Stabenow back over to the House. We were always so proud of your service here, and we're proud of your leadership in the United States Senate. And we're also pleased to welcome Senator Booker to the House. Where'd he go? To the House. But they will agree, as will my colleagues from the House, Congressman Cartwright, Dingell, Lieu, and Neguse, that our true VIPs today are our special guests, Daniela Knight and Sarah Taylor, will tell us what this means to them and their families. I want to acknowledge the great leadership of Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, who for the past 10 Congresses has introduced this legislation. And now we have this historic day where we can put forth Social Security for our children. This will make a tremendous difference in the lives of Americans.
For how many years? 18. 18 happy, wonderful, productive years. I remember the Speaker's first day in the House of Representatives, 1986. Special election, yes. I won't do it again. Say what George Miller said. No, you know, okay. Okay. So it is great to be here. I want to thank the Speaker for her amazing leadership on this issue. She has always been a beacon in helping children in so many different ways. I want to thank my co-chairs, my chair and co-chair of the DPCC who joined us, the great Debbie Stabenow and Cory Booker. We have so much talent in this. Thank you. We have so much talent in the Senate, and so proud of both of them. And I want to thank my colleagues in the House, of course, Rosa DeLauro, who has been such a champion here, and Congress members Dingell and Cartwright and Neguse, who have been, and Lieu, who have been here as well. So, because of all the work of the people here and so many others, we are able to say to America's families, help is on the way. They need it. So many children in America are in poverty. When a child is in poverty, they may not get, through no fault of their own, they may not get fed